Here we go.
Okay.
We have Matt.
Matt.
Guys,
Hi, Matt.
Hi.
I've got a comment and a question.
Okay.
My comment is about understanding evolution in terms of I like the term natural selection better than evolution, in that if you look at it from a perspective of animals that survived ice ages because they had more fur, it's not so much that they evolved, whereas it is so much that the other people who didn't, the other animals that didn't have fur, died.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what's meant by punctuated equilibrium, right?
Right. So that's just to help people. That's the way I understand it. But my comment was made. I consider myself agnostic. A lot of people say agnosticism is just atheists in denial, but I disagree with that. So I'm wondering what you guys' definition of agnosticism is, first of all.
Please let me do this.
All yours.
There's a great book by a guy named George Smith, who happens to be an objectivist, and I don't agree with him on that philosophical point. But the book is called
Atheism: The Case Against God?
Atheism: The Case Against God, thank you.
Yeah, I've seen that.
He tackles the whole atheism, agnosticism issue, and while what he says, you're not necessarily going to find this in dictionaries, right? I thought these were very useful distinctions, okay? He draws a distinction between, there's two different issues. There's, do you claim, what do you claim to believe, and what you claim to know. Am I saying this right? Gnosticism is a religious stance where you claim to know that that God exists, right? Or when you apply Gnosticism to religion, right? It's a claim of knowledge that there's a God. Agnosticism is simply the lack of knowledge that there is a God.
All right, cool.
Right? Theism is belief in a God. Atheism is the lack of a belief in a God. And with those two sets of dichotomies, you can actually form four different positions. You can be a Gnostic theist who claims to know that there is a God and believes in it, or you can be an agnostic theist. In fact, a lot of theists today don't realize this, but they are agnostic theists. When they admit they can't prove that God exists, but they believe in him anyway, that's an agnostic theist.
All right.
Likewise, you can be a Gnostic atheist who claims to know for sure there's no gods, or you could be an agnostic theist where you don't know if, an agnostic atheist where you don't know if there's any gods or not, but you don't believe in them.
Okay.
Say?
I think the whole thing is the I want to refrain from claiming. I can't stand proselytizing in religions, and saying we're right because of this reason. Well, but I just think nobody has proof of anything. And whereas I don't think that there probably is a God, I'm not going to rule that out because I'm not positive.
Then you're in the same position that we are.
Okay.
And we're just comfortable with calling ourselves agnostic atheists.
But hang on. Do you believe that there is a God?
I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
but
I doubt it. No, I don't believe that there's a God. I would need to shake his hand.
Huh?
I would need to shake his hand.
So until then, you don't actually believe in him.
Right.
So on that basis, you're an atheist, right?
Okay.
You don't have theism, and that's
Right.
what an atheist is. It's a guy without theism. Now, you can give agnosticism as your explanation for your atheism,
Right.
and that makes perfect sense.
I just didn't want. I didn't know if you guys were being a little elitist in the sense that you know that there's no God.
We don't.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't think so.
Wait,
More specifically,
Jeff knows.
more
No.
specifically, whether what I am among those four positions really depends on the God you're talking about, right? I love to give this example. If I went to a South Seas island, and the islanders took me over to show me their totem pole, and they said that their totem pole is our God.
Right.
I'm a Gnostic theist.
Right. I got it.
Regarding their God, I can see it. I can go rap on it with my knuckles. I might still have some, questions, doubts about whether it's got the miraculous powers they attribute it to. Right.
Well, I get in a fight with all these people who knew, Aztecs were forced to become Catholics primarily through, blood.
Yeah.
So, and I have a problem with people saying, well, if you don't find Jesus, you're going to hell. will tell that to the Buddhists. They don't, or tell that to the guy on the island who's never dealt with Jesus, didn't come to his island. He's maybe he believes in it. So I think that's an elitist thing on other religions.
Well, I'll tell you one thing: if you don't become an atheist, we don't claim that anything bad will happen to you, except for the bad things that might naturally happen from believing things that aren't true.
Yeah. The Raelian comment was good, too, by the way. Those are the guys, the cloners, right?
Yeah. They claimed that they did some cloning. There's no evidence at all that they ever did.
Hey, that's fascinating entertainment, though, those guys' website. That's good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, guys. I enjoyed it.
Thanks for your call.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
That was Matt on 3, right?
Matt on 3.